Yeah, good morning, everyone. So last session, yesterday, previous demo classes, we discussed about uh, TypeScript architecture. So as we learned in the previous demos that in order to learn Angular, you need knowledge of TypeScript. And I just given an introduction about TypeScript. People who missed the early demo sessions, I will upload videos related to that so that you can go through the previous demo sessions. Into Classroom, I will upload a Google Classroom. At the end of the session, I will give you one more time Google Classroom where you will get step-by-step notes and everything. There I will upload the previous demo videos. If anybody missed out, they can go through them. Previous we discussed the basic introduction about what is TypeScript and why we need TypeScript for Angular and the features of TypeScript. So last session we discussed the TypeScript architecture also. In the TypeScript architecture, if you remembered, what are the components in TypeScript? We will have a core compiler. We will have a trans compiler, core compiler and trans compilers. What is difference? I hope you remembered. Core compiler is responsible for identifying the technical issues and reporting them, and trans compiler is responsible for translating the TypeScript into JavaScript. And we have a TypeScript server. So we have services, and we have shim, and we have managed code. So this is the basic. So which architecture already I explained. So this is the TypeScript basic architecture. This is the TypeScript architecture. What TypeScript comprises of, how TypeScript works. One basic architecture I explained. This we discussed in the previous demo session. So what are the components of TypeScript and how it works? So from today, we will start practically working with this. We will start practically working with the TypeScript. So today we will see how do we set up environment for TypeScript on your PC. How do you set up environment for TypeScript on your PC? So in order to start working with Angular, first you need to learn this language, TypeScript. And the TypeScript by default will not work on every PC. We have to set up environment for TypeScript. What you have to do, I will show you. So to start working with TypeScript, first step, you have to download and install any package manager on your PC. I hope as web developers, you are aware of package managers. Package managers means any software technology uses package managers. As a minimum software developer, everybody knows package managers. Package managers are nothing but they are the software tools. Package managers are software tools which are used to download and install library required for various projects. You are building a project. For that project, you need a library. Then generally what you do, you go to the website, download the library, copy the files and put it in your project. But what we have to do as a developer easy is, you have any package manager in your PC, through package manager by running a command you can easily install the libraries. So for example, suppose you are developing a website and in that website you want Bootstrap. Then generally what we do, we have to visit the official website of Bootstrap. We have to visit the official website of Bootstrap. Now in this website we have to download. When we go to download, then it will give you the download links. From the download links, you can download the library, and when you download library it will give a zip file. You have to uncompress the zip file, copy the files, go to your project and paste. Instead of doing all this, so every software developer knows about package managers. Package managers, these are all package managers. So many are there, various package managers. And you can use these package managers. By using the package managers, you can download the softwares, download the libraries and install them for your project. So in general software development, if you want a library, then there are two techniques. One is either directly use the library from their server or download and use it. Directly using library from their server is known as any idea? Directly using server from their server is actually known as CDN, content delivery network. Downloading and using is different. That means you can directly use from their server by using CDN links. So you can download and use it. To download and use, better have a package manager. And so many package managers will be there. Currently what we are doing here is, we are going to use package manager. There are so many package manager tools. Like we have package manager tools like npm, like Bower, like Ruby Gems, so like Yarn. So many package managers are there. NuGet, all these are package managers. What we will use is, you can use any package manager, but we are using the package manager npm. Npm is actually Node package manager. And to get npm, what you have to do, you have to download Node.js on your PC. This is the first step you have to do. So a software developer needs a package manager in his PC. That is the minimum basic requirement. And there are so many package managers. You can use any package manager, but we are going to use npm. Npm is Node package manager. So this package manager is enough, because later we will see server side integration, end-to-end application using Node.js. So we will continue with npm as package manager. So you have to download the package manager npm. How? I will give you the website link. You can go to Node.js official website, nodejs.org. This is the Node.js official website. This is the Node.js official website. Here I will give you the website link also. You can visit this official website of Node.js and you can download. You visit that website nodejs.org. In this, you will find download for Windows is there. If you belong to any other operating system, Mac or Linux or anything, you have other download category here. You can go to other downloads. It will give you all the download related options, different operating systems. And you have to download and install this on your PC. If you belong to Windows, then you download this Windows MSI. MSI is installer, Microsoft installer. Zip files are difficult for you. Zip files, again, you have to copy, paste. Just download this MSI file. It will give you a setup file. That setup file will guide you step by step, next. You don't need to choose anything. Just 3 steps or 4 steps, you click next, it will finish installing. So it is a very simple, straightforward Node.js, but be careful when you are installing, install this 16 version, not 17. Download and install this 16 version. Let me give you a note here. So download and install Node.js 16x version. 16x version, because 17 is the current very latest version with the latest features. That is for the people who are upgrading from older version to new. If you are directly using Node.js for the first time, you just download this 16 version. And very important, because sometimes people are working on various projects already, software developers, they already have Node.js in their PC. If already you have Node.js, make sure that you are using Node.js 12 plus versions. So that means current version is 16. But some people who are working as software developers already have Node.js in their computers. From several years, they may be using it. Already they are using it. And if they are already using Node.js, older version may be there. Node.js 12 and higher versions only support our latest technologies. Our latest Angular or latest features, whatever we are going to learn, they are going to run and work successfully only on Node.js 12 and higher version. If you already have any older version of Node.js, please upgrade to higher. Our Angular latest version is not going to run on old version. So it's compulsory that you must have latest version of Node.js. And Node.js will not work on Windows 7. There is no chance. No Windows 7, Windows 8 and higher versions. If you belong to other operating systems, you already have installer there. If you belong to other operating systems, already I given you here other downloads, and here you will find the installation for other operating systems. Okay, for other operating systems, you have installer. So Node.js is cross-platform. It will work for every operating system. So make sure that you downloaded and installed Node.js version. Remember, Node version must be 12 and higher, and package manager npm version must be 6 and higher. NPM version must be 6 and higher. How you can test it? After downloading and installing, you can test the version like this. What you can do? You can just open your command prompt, and in the command prompt, you can just test node-v or and that is for Node.js version and npm-v. This is for package manager version, Node.js version and package manager version. So to check which version, this you have to do. And if you already have any older version, nothing to do, just install the latest one and update. Nothing update. You install latest, older one will be gone. Right? There is nothing like how to remove, how to update from older to new, nothing to do. Just install the latest version, old one will be overridden automatically, right? So you have to check the version this, right? So I will show you here command prompt. In the command prompt, you have to just use node-v. Node-v, it will get the Node.js version, which version of Node.js it is. And make sure that it is Node.js 12 and higher. Currently, we are having 16, which is the latest we have. And npm-v. This is the package manager version. Package manager version must be 6 above. Current package manager will be 8. So npm version will be 8. So node package manager and npm, these two are important. It's taking a while. Let's. Yeah, it is npm 8 and higher version we are having here. So make sure that it is above 12 node version and npm is above 6, right? And no other chance. There is no other chance. That means many people come with that. I am using Windows 7. What to do? Nothing to do. Update to 8. Otherwise, you cannot do anything, because our latest features, what we are going to install and use, the latest Angular compulsory requires the node higher versions and all. So, and without that, you cannot do anything. So make sure that your environment is set up with this. Okay. So this is the first thing you have to do. There is no other option. If you don't have Windows 7, Windows 8 higher versions, you have Windows 7 and all these things, then you have no chance. You have to install a virtual machine on it and try it. Okay. Now this is the first step. You have to download and install Node.js. That is the first concept, package manager. Second, once you have the package manager, you have to download and install TypeScript on your PC. First, you download the package manager. Once you have successfully the package manager, you have to download and install TypeScript on your PC. For that, what you have to do, open the command prompt on your computer, and here you have to run the command npm install globally TypeScript. This is what you have to do. This is the command you have to run to install the latest version of TypeScript on your PC. It is mandatory that TypeScript must be installed on your PC. You know that JavaScript by default runs on every PC. There is no separate installation for JavaScript. HTML, JavaScript are native to every operating system, but TypeScript is not. TypeScript, you need to install TypeScript library for TypeScript. So make sure that you are installing TypeScript. npm is package manager, install is the command, and G indicates global. If I don't use G, then in which drive I installed, only in that drive it will work. That means if your project is in some other drive, you want to access, it will not work. So make sure that you are installing global, right? So what you have to do now, after downloading and installing Node.js, now open command prompt. Here you have to run npm install -g TypeScript. This is how you have to download and install TypeScript. Remember, npm will work only when Node.js is ready. So first install Node.js, make sure that the package manager is successfully installed, check the version, then you have to download and install Node.js TypeScript. These are all commands which work online. Make sure that you are connected to internet. So because these are not offline commands, these commands need to connect to the online repository and download from there. Make sure that you are online when you are running these commands. Yeah, it is installed successfully. Once you finished installing successfully, you can check the version by using tsc-v. TSC is TypeScript compiler. Already in architecture, I told you TypeScript have two compilers, core compiler and trans compiler. TSC-v. It will get you the version of TypeScript that you are using. And the current TypeScript version is 4.6.3. That is the latest version of TypeScript that we have. And we are going to learn that version, right? We are going to do that. So after installing successfully, just you have to check once, that is tsc-v. So you have TypeScript ready. Now where to build the project and test our TypeScript and all? We need editors. Next, you download and install Visual Studio Code editor. You download and install Visual Studio Code editor. I hope if you are already, remember, for learning Angular, minimum basic knowledge, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Without that, you are not suitable for this course. Must have knowledge of these three things. And if you are already working on HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, you're practicing projects and all, you may be using various editors. So many editors are there. You can use any editor, but we will go with Visual Studio Code. Because the language that we are using, TypeScript, belongs to Microsoft. It belongs to Microsoft, and Visual Studio Code is a Microsoft editor. That means people who built that language, they can provide a better support for that than anybody else. You can use any editor, no problem. See, so many editors are there. These are all editors. You can see so many editors. These are all editors. You can use any editor. These are all editors. So many editors will be there. You can use any of these editors. Several editors are present. You can use any editor. So, but we are going to use this editor, Visual Studio Code. We are going to use this editor, Visual Studio Code. We are going to work with this Visual Studio Code. So entire our Angular also will be on Visual Studio Code. So officially we have to work on that. So you download this Visual Studio Code also on your PC, right? So Visual Studio Code, I will give you simple link here. You know already what is editor means, huh? Visual Studio Code editor. What editor will do? Editor will provide an IDE, integrated development environment, from where you can build, you can debug, you can test, you can deploy your applications. So you download this Visual Studio Code editor. This is the official. This is, I hope you may be already using Visual Studio Code editor if you are already involved in HTML, CSS and all these things. Huh? So this is the Visual Studio Code editor official website. This is also available for all operating systems. You can download this universally. Okay. Visuals, make sure that here I will give a small note. So download Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio. People are very much confused. There is a editor called Visual Studio. Don't download that Visual Studio. Download only Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio is also an editor, but that is very huge. That is for the people belonging to Microsoft technologies like .NET. On that also it will work, but it is too heavy. That is not required for you. Visual Studio Code is lightweight. This is enough for us. Our Angular, everything we can run on Visual Studio Code editor. So we will use this Visual Studio Code editor. You can download it. This is the official Visual Studio Code. And this is also available for all operating systems. You can download and install. This also gives a setup, a small setup. Just click next, it will finish installation. No need to show installation, right? Because only 2-3 steps, it will finish the installation, nothing to worry, right? It is very easy downloading and installing these two. Okay, once you download and install Visual Studio Code editor, now next step, what you have to do is open Visual Studio Code editor on your PC and download following extensions. After downloading and installing Visual Studio Code, even you have already Visual Studio, you download Visual Studio Code again, right? Because we are going to learn on Visual Studio Code only. So no time waste. You use some other editors and come, this is not working, that is not working, right? So you follow the editor, what is learned in the class, that's enough. Okay, right. Next, Visual Studio Code editor. After you download and install, next step, what you have to do is you have to open Visual Studio Code. This is Visual Studio Code editor in my programs. Already, if you have installed Visual Studio Code and working with that, we need some extensions in Visual Studio Code. I will show you. Let me open the home screen of this. Actually, this is the home screen. Yeah. This is the home screen of Visual Studio Code. When you open, you will get this home screen, Visual Studio Code. Here, you will find extensions button. This is extensions button. That is actually extensions button. That is extensions button. Extension button. You have to just click on that extensions button, and it will ask for which extension you want. What you have to do is, I will tell you some extensions which are helpful for our future development. So one is, you have to download live server. That is one extension. Another, you have to download VS Code icons. VS Code icons. Another, you have to download IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. These three extensions are enough. These three extensions, you keep them. So live server, VS Code icons, IntelliSense for CSS class names, these you keep. These will be very helpful for your project designing. So how they work, I will show you. So we will see how they are used. These are the extensions you need for Visual Studio Code. Live server, generally any web developer knows that his web application runs on a local server. First we run on local server, then we publish to cloud servers. So we need a local server to test our projects. So live server is a local server. And VS Code icons are nothing but they will give good icons for files according to their extensions. HTML files, one icon, CSS files, another icon, so that it is easy for developer to identify which file he is dealing with. By seeing the icons, you can easily identify. IntelliSense for CSS class names, it is a plugin. This plugin advantage is when we are working with CSS in Angular and everywhere, styles, it will give you help on styles so that it is easy for applying styles and working with them. Because web developers cannot imagine a page without CSS. CSS is mandatory. Even Angular also, we will learn CSS, how to use with Angular. In that case, help on CSS will be provided by this plugin. It will be easy, right? These three plugins you download and install in your Visual Studio Code. So what you have to do, open Visual Studio Code, go to extensions category, and search for first one, live server. First one, search for live server. You will get live server extension. This is live server. You can download. You have to just click install button. Already I have installed in my Visual Studio. You have to just click on that install and uninstall to add it. This is one live server. Remember, so many live servers will come. So you better go with this one. You can identify this icon and the author Ritwik Day, because these are all third parties. Sometimes if you download and install any wrong one and it is not working properly, you can't complain. You have to just ignore it and use a better one, because these are all third parties developed by other people. Then you cannot complain if they are not working properly. So better download and use which is downloaded and used by many people in the world. You can see the ratings, you can see how many people downloaded. Based on that, you can get a better one, right? Because if any concept is not working properly in that, you can't complain. You have to simply change. That is the reason better always download the best one, right? So you download this live server, okay, and better I will give here the live server from Ritwik Day. And you download VS Code icons. Only one VS Code icons will be there. It is from Microsoft directly. You can download from VS Code icons. You can go here, search for another extension, VS Code icons. So VS Code icons. So this is another one. You can directly download this. This is also very good for projects. So you download this VS Code icons. Okay, next, One more is IntelliSense. IntelliSense for CSS class names. IntelliSense for CSS class names. So you download this one, and this is from this author. Okay, I'm giving those author names so that it will be easy and helpful for you, because with the same name several extensions may be there, and if you install a wrong one, you cannot see the same what I am showing you in the class, right? Better always do this. Okay, now the environment is ready. That means whatever is required for starting with TypeScript environment is ready. So let me give you the summary. What are the downloads? First one, download Node.js and npm. Second one, download and install, right? Download and install Node.js and npm. Download and install TypeScript. Another one, download and install VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. Another one, so download and install extensions for Visual Studio Code. These are required. What are the extensions? Live server extensions, VS Code icons, and IntelliSense for CSS class names. IntelliSense for CSS class names. These are required. This is what we have seen today first. Okay, now your PC is ready. Your PC is ready to work with TypeScript. Now once our environment is ready, next step, we have to learn how to create a new project for TypeScript. This is the first step now. Now today we will see how to create a project for TypeScript, how we can start learning TypeScript, the basic process of TypeScript. So how do we create a project for TypeScript? Let's see, right? How do we create a new project for TypeScript? First step, to create a new project for TypeScript, first create a new folder for project on your PC. Create a new folder for project on your PC. Anywhere, C drive, D drive, E drive, anywhere on your PC, create one folder. For example, in my D drive, I will create a folder called some TypeScript project, something like this. You can give any name for your project. Just create a folder for project on your PC. That is the first step you have to do. An empty folder, maintain a folder for your project. So open in my computer, I will open any location, C drive, D drive, any location you can do, choose. So in my computer, I am going to D drive on my PC. And here what I will do is I will create one, same name I will give. Okay, here I am creating a new folder, and I will give the folder name as TypeScript project. TypeScript project, that is the folder name. Okay, that is folder empty, nothing is there. Okay, go. Now after creating this folder, next open folder in Visual Studio Code. Open the folder in Visual Studio Code editor. Open that folder in Visual Studio Code editor, because that is the location where we have to work with our project, right? So what you have to do now is you have to open folder in Visual Studio Code. Open Visual Studio Code, and this is Visual Studio Code. Here you have open folder button, or you can go to file menu and select open folder and select your folder, and you can see the folder is in D drive. In that TypeScript project, that is the folder TypeScript project, and the folder is ready. Now it is empty. Folder opened successfully, it is empty, nothing is there inside it. So that means your folder is ready now. There is nothing inside it, it is empty. Now, how to make it as a professional web application? I hope if you have learned HTML, CSS and all, I don't know how you created your project and practiced it, but in real world environment, how a project is configured, I will show you. See, generally, once you open this, I need to make this as a professional web application. To make it as a professional web application, go to terminal and open new terminal. We have a terminal menu in Visual Studio Code. There you have new terminal. Terminal is nothing but it will open the command prompt directly here. You can separately open command prompt, or you can open the command prompt here itself and you can try. Here itself you can try. So open terminal. So go to terminal and select new terminal. It will open terminal, that is nothing but command prompt. And here so many points are there, I will explain. See, generally when you open terminal, sometimes your terminal comes like this. Sometimes when you open any terminal, your terminal will come like this. It will say Windows PowerShell. You can see this PS will be there. So don't try any command here. Don't try any command here, because this Windows PowerShell requires a additional installation. If you install that extra plugin, then only this PowerShell will work. So don't use this PowerShell. By default, when you open terminal, out of 199% PowerShell will open. Don't use it directly. So what you have to do is, right side, you can see there is a drop down and plus mark. In the terminal, you have right side plus mark and drop down. Click that drop down. Click the drop down. You will find there is command prompt, JavaScript, debug terminal, PowerShell, split terminal. So many options are there. What you have to do is select this one. Select default profile. You click that down arrow and click on select default profile. Select default profile. So I will click on that select default profile. At the top, it is asking some profiles. At the top, you can see PowerShell, command prompt, which one you want, it is asking. Make sure that you have selected which one? Command prompt. You have selected command prompt. This is first thing. After selecting command prompt, now you click this. Remember, just now we used this drop down and selected. After that, you click this plus button. When you click the plus button, now terminal will open. Now this time PowerShell will not be there. Beside it, PS is not there. If PS is there, it is PowerShell. So make sure that you are directly using command prompt instead of PowerShell. Because in PowerShell, commands will not run if it is not properly installed on your PC. Majority of PCs are not completely installed with PowerShell. Additionally, you have to do that. So better always use only command prompt. And for that, you have to do this. This is not only here, in future Angular also, so many commands we have to run, and those all commands requires this command prompt. So make sure that you made it ready in the first session only, because every day in Angular you have to work with it. Every day in Angular you have to work with this, and PowerShell you will get issues. So better use a command prompt. One more time I am showing. First, go to terminal menu, select new terminal, and in that first down arrow, select default profile. In that, which profile you have to select? Command prompt. After that, click on new terminal, then command terminal will open. Once this command terminal is open, now how to make our project as a professional web application? Simple. Here you have to run the command npm init -y, npm init y. npm init y is initializing the project. npm init y, that means you are initializing the project. What this command is going to do, I will tell you. See, you have to run this command npm init y. After you open the folder in Visual Studio Code, next step, open terminal in VS Code. Open terminal in VS Code. For shortcut, you can use Control plus backtick. Control plus backtick is used to open terminal shortcut. Or actually what you have to do, terminal menu. In terminal menu, you have to select new terminal. Or you can use that control backtick, which is shortcut to open terminal. Next point, make sure that your terminal is using command prompt. Understood? Make sure that your terminal is using command prompt. And how do we do that? Just now I showed you. And the next step, type the following command. Type the following command. So in the terminal, you have to run the command. What is it? npm init -y. npm init -y. Please keep spaces, spellings, capitalization also matters. Capitalization also matters. Make sure that you are using the same spelling, same capitalization, spaces, everything correctly. Otherwise issues will come, right? Because you are in the beginning level. Immediately next day, tomorrow morning, so many people will come. Sir, npm not working, -y not working, init not working. It will work. Make sure that you use the correct spaces, you used the correct spellings, you haven't missed the capitalizations and everything. And many times people come with a complaint, npm not working, because before using these commands, which one should be ready? Before using these commands, first npm should be installed. First step is node.js npm. If npm is not successfully installed, these all commands will not work. First you have to install npm and come here. Now I hope many of you people know, because already you worked with projects. So can you tell me where project metadata is present? Where project metadata is present? Where project metadata is present? Metadata means information about project. Means which version it is, what copyrights it is using, what libraries it is using, which version libraries it is using. Suppose you downloaded a project from online, or some of your friend given you a project, and you in a flash drive you got it, downloaded a project. Now in order to run the project, when you try to run the project, it may not work successfully, because in that project what libraries, which version they have used, everything same you have to set up in your PC also. As a developer, from where you will get that information? As a developer, from where you will get the information about what libraries he used in that project, which version library he used in that project. That is done by using a file called package.json. This is the command which is used to generate this file. That is the command which is used to generate this package.json file. I hope, because see, this is minimum basic. Every software developer knows that the metadata of project is in package.json. Whether you are a Java developer, .NET developer, PHP developer, Python developer, web related application means everything is in package.json. Every project will have package.json. Angular, React, Vue, every project, Java, .NET, PHP, Python, everything. So these days we are not maintaining XML files. Some technologies may be still using XML file, but now they are also updating into JSON. So package.json is the file where the entire information about project is kept. And this command is to generate package.json. So a project is not a professional project if it is not having a package.json. And in our project, to generate the package.json, which command you have to run? npm init y. So see, y is nothing but npm init means it will walk through series of questions. Questions means what is project name, what is version, which framework for testing, which file for startup. It will ask all those questions. Y indicates that don't ask me any questions, you just create it. Y indicates that don't ask any questions, just accept all and create this file. Later I will come back to you. That means later we will go to that package.json and make changes whenever required. So initially what you have to do, simply npm init y and enter. Now you can see that automatically this is going to generate a file package.json. You see, in our project we have package.json now. In our project package.json, and to generate package.json we have to use this command. Now package.json is successfully generated. You can see this is package.json and it contains only few details. As of now it contains only few details, but later you will get updated with a lot of details inside this. What libraries, what everything is used here. Because many times people, when they come with learning Angular, actually Angular, React and all these advanced technologies, when we create a project, automatically it will give a file structure. It will automatically give a file structure. Unfortunately, we have to explain that file structure to the people who are learning Angular. That is not good. Why? Because any web developer knows a basic file structure, what folders, what files are present in every project. And unfortunately, many people are not aware of that. That is the reason it became a topic in Angular, that we have to even explain what is the purpose of that file. But every web developer should know the knowledge of that and come here actually. But no worry, because many people are not aware, we will discuss those things also. But package.json is not a new thing. Every web developer in the world knows package.json. People who started HTML, CSS, JavaScript, they know package.json. Mandatory, that is, in web projects. So package.json is ready. Okay, we will come back to this and use it in later stages whenever required. As of now, it is ready. Next, in this project, we will maintain some folders. You see, here two buttons are there. One is new file. This is new folder. Second one, click that new folder button and create two folders. We will create one folder public. This is one folder public. And click outside, don't select this. because if you select this, others will be created inside it. So click outside and click another folder, SRC. As per the project standards, every project usually contains public and SRC folders. Public is a folder where we keep our static resources. Static resources means HTML files, text files, images, other type of PDF documents, everything we will keep in public. SRC is the folder where we keep dynamic resources like JavaScript files, CSS files, SAS files. All these are kept inside SRC. So as per project standards, every project contains two basic folders. Later you will get so many other folders also. Basically, one is public, another one SRC. We are adding these folders manually. So after this command, next step, add following folders into project. What are the folders? One is public. So it contains static resources like .html, .txt, .jpg, .pdf, all this, and these are all right. And SRC, another folder, SRC. So it contains dynamic resources like .js, .ts, .css, so .scss, all these are all dynamic resources. Static resources are kept in public, dynamic resources are kept in SRC. TypeScript, CSS, JavaScript, SCSS, all these are kept inside these folders actually. Okay, so package.json is ready, which contains metadata, and two folders are ready. Now tell me, as a web developer, web application starts with which file? Every web application starts with a file called index.html. So every web application starts with index.html. So what you have to do, add index.html into public folder. Add index.html into public folder. So make sure that you are adding this into public folder, right? So every web application starts with index.html, mandatory, right? So let's go and add in the public folder, add a new file, index.html. Remember, in index.html also, I lowercase, not uppercase. Capitalization also matters very much. Okay, now in this you design your first home page. So doc type, HTML, head, title, no need to explain. So this is index, and in the body section I will keep a heading, so welcome to TypeScript. That is the option. So, and I just kept here some option. Only this I kept here. So, and very important here, there is no TypeScript being used. Currently, we are just using only HTML. Okay. Now save this. After this, you have to test it. You know that already we have server, live server. So right click in the page, and select open with live server. Open with live server. So open with live server, then it will open the browser, and in the browser automatically it starts your page and it will display. That means now our application starts with index page. It is welcome to TypeScript. So our web application is working and it is having a index page. But now we have to use TypeScript in this page. We have to use TypeScript in this page, and you cannot use TypeScript in the page because TypeScript is not understandable to HTML. TypeScript is not understandable to browser. TypeScript is used by developer, and this TypeScript need to be translated into JavaScript. First, you have to write in TypeScript, which is to be translated into JavaScript. And through JavaScript only you can handle it. So, but directly we don't use JavaScript. We write TypeScript, which is translated into JavaScript. I will show you one point. Below this, I will keep a div container. And this div, you can give any name. I will just give an ID for the div. I will give an ID for the div as container. Okay. That is the div ID container. Okay. Now, how to write a TypeScript program? So let's go to SRC folder. Select SRC folder, add a new file. Add a new file. And the file name, I will give index.ts. TypeScript programs will have extension .ts. TypeScript programs must have the extension .ts. So we have to write index.ts. Okay. In this, I am just writing basic TypeScript code. Don't worry, just observe, because we are going to learn how to write TypeScript in the next stage. Okay. As of now, just see. I am just writing, but you can understand easily as HTML. Suppose I am using LET. LET is to declare variable, where LET constants, right? And LET variable name is username. Username is equal to, username is string type and is equal to some name, John, that is the variable name. Remember, this course is not for anybody who don't know JavaScript. So quit today itself, right? Because you cannot handle without proper knowledge of JavaScript. From tomorrow, don't attend this session if you don't know any JavaScript strictly, right? Because this will never suit for you, right? It is very difficult to handle without JavaScript knowledge. So this will never suit to anybody who don't know proper JavaScript. So strictly, clearly, I'm telling, right? Time waste with you. So if you are not having knowledge of JavaScript and all this, because here we can't explain what is variable, what is LET, what is var, then it will take 1 year for Angular. Understood? So it can never happen. Here we don't waste time related to JavaScript at all. We will just use it. I will explain that. Now we are using LET, username, and this. Later I will explain what is data type and all these things. Just observe. Now I hope you know how to apply some content, display some message, output methods, you know. I am using like this. What I am using, document dot, or you know, functions. We have functions, like I am writing a function, right? Function. The function is some body load. Body load. Body load is a function. What this body load function have to do? Document dot get element by ID. What is the ID we have? Container. Container dot what? Inner HTML. In that we want to display a message. So message is hello. Hello, what? That username, right? Whatever username is there, this we want to display. This is general JavaScript. This is general JavaScript. We written a function and we defined something, but I will detailedly give you TypeScript. Next level we will discuss. Just observe the point. Once it is ready, can I use this file in my HTML page? I cannot. I cannot use this in HTML page. HTML can understand only JavaScript. So what you have to do now, you have to translate this TypeScript into JavaScript. You have to translate the TypeScript into JavaScript. So open this location where you saved this file, open that location, right click and open in terminal, open in integrated terminal. Then you can see that it will open that location in terminal. This is the location where we have that file. Index.ts file is present. So we have to use TSC. TSC means TypeScript compiler, transcompiler, TSC, which file? Index.ts. Now what it will do is, it will verify, are there any problems in this file? If there are no problems in this file, it will convert this into JavaScript. That means it will generate a new JavaScript file with all the JavaScript code. Now hit enter. TSC index.ts. Now you can see the TypeScript is going to generate everything into JavaScript, and automatically a new file is added, index.js. This is the file you created, and this is the file which is automatically generated. This file we have to use in HTML. That file we have to use in HTML, not this TypeScript. TypeScript only for developers and JavaScript for pages. Now what we have to do here, let's go to HTML page. You know how to write body load event. What is it? Onload. Onload what? Body load. Body load is the function name, right? And here we need to link it. How to link JavaScript file? Script source is equal to ... It is present in which folder? src. src, what is the file? Index.js. You know how to link files, how do we configure the files and all. Now let's run this and see. Now run this HTML page and see. You see hello John. This is coming from where? The TypeScript file. That means on body load, the document contents are rendering into that location. Just observe, don't worry. Why? Because I will explain detailedly this one more time with TypeScript basics, right? I just showed you how the flow works, right? How to create a TypeScript file, how to write the TypeScript code. These all basic things we will discuss, right? Then you can start using TypeScript. So up to now, what you have to try? Only up to index.html. You try up to index.html, set up, install everything, index.html. How to create a TypeScript file, add logic into TypeScript file, how to convert into JavaScript, how to link to HTML. These things we will see in next session. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about TypeScript. Today you just do up to index.html. These all notes I will upload into Google Classroom. This is our Google Classroom code I will give you. I will share with the people who missed out. People who don't have the Google Classroom code, I will give you. And this is the Google Classroom code for online people. I will send that. And today I will upload the previous class videos also. Okay. And other contents our admin will send you. Course contents and everything our admin will send you to your emails. So this is Google Classroom code. You have to open Google Classroom and join this classroom code. So everyday classroom notes I will upload here. Today I will upload demo videos of previous sessions also, which you missed out. You can go through them. Okay. Then today you don't need to try TypeScript. Today you need to try up to index page. Tomorrow I will show you how to create a TypeScript file, how to write TypeScript logic, convert into JavaScript, use with HTML. That process I will give you. Okay. So then tomorrow we will continue. Right. I hope you are clear with all this. You try this. These notes I will upload into this classroom now. today's notes I will upload so that you can go through it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue. Yes, Mayank, what is your doubt? Gaurav?
Yes, sir. Sir, Shrikant sir told me that I will get syllabus in class from
Yeah,
your
can
side.
you please a little bit loud?
I'm audible now, sir. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. I'm audible, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Sir, Shrikant sir told me that I will get syllabus in class.
If you belong to any another batch,
No. I already.
those admins will send you to your emails all the course content. Okay.
Uh, Actually, sir, I
Okay.
already
Don't
discussed.
ask anybody. Just follow what I said. Understood?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hope you are clear.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Pradeep.
సార్ మీరు రియాక్ట్ బ్యాచ్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు సార్ కొత్తది?
టైం పడుతుంది ఇప్పుడే కన్ఫర్మ్ లేదు.
ఓకే సార్.
Copy paste will not work for this. Copy that code, classroom code I given, right? Use that classroom code to join. If link is not opening, use the code. Okay. Yes. Hiten.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So sir, I'm taking also I'm taking like JavaScript classes. Like my class has been like done like 10 to 12 class has been done. So is it okay to like good for me to start Angular 13?
What basics you learned in JavaScript?
It's just like about like a function and all.
Functions, variables, and all these, right?
Yes, it's just
Ah,
beginning.
That's fine. It's enough. You can
That's
continue.
fine.
But
Oh, okay.
simultaneously, you need to be perfect in JavaScript.
Oh, okay.
Right? But at the end of the day, you cannot say that I know little bit JavaScript and I am an Angular developer.
Yeah, I
Right?
got that.
You must have. Okay.
I just want to make sure because
Yeah, you can
that.
continue now. No problem. Huh?
Okay, because I just don't want to mess the
Ah.
like whole thing. You know what I mean?
No problem. But make sure that you are aware of all these topics at the end of the day. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay then. So tomorrow we'll continue. Right. Thank you.